Hey guys, I talked about doing a stockpile video a few weeks ago. I am so sorry. I got really behind with a lot of things that I had to do. And I don't like to be on the camera, so you're stuck looking at what is in front of me. But it's me. Anyways, I am going to point out a few things about stockpiling that is always good to know. A lot of older couponers know this already or should know. But hopefully this info will help somebody. Stockpiling. One thing to know is stockpile is awesome. It really is. It has truly helped me numerous times, and quite a few people that I've given stuff to and things like that. So stockpiling, some you hear from the donate police about donating and blah 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 blah, but stockpiling has been a tremendous amount of help to my household as well as to quite a few others around me. One thing you need to know is HBA. The health and beauty products are always a given to be super cheap or free. That's just that's how it is. My stockpile is I have a lot of your shampoos, your female products, your dish soaps, your laundry soaps. That's where a lot of my stockpile is. And I do have quite a bit of freezer foods and things like that. Groceries are always hard to kind of keep stock in because, you use them more. But one thing you need to know about stockpiling groceries is you don't want to stockpile on a lot of stuff and have to throw it away. I have run across this lately. I'm not going to name what I've had to throw away, but a lot of things have expired. And, when you're stockpiling and you're getting these great deals, super cheap, you're going to automatically think, heck yeah, it's the excitement that kind of draws you to get more than what you could use before it expires. Holy crap, I've lost my train of thought. Whenever I say more than what you could use before it expires, a lot of people always judge you and say, oh, well, you're not going to use all that, just the donate police that you hear that mess from. But, a lot of things that you are going to stock up on are your HBAs. And then with the groceries, watch the expiration dates. Now, a while back, I gotten a lot of peanut butter. Some of it had technically expired before I was able to use it, but I did some research on it. As long as it wasn't opened, it was fine for a certain amount of time. And a lot of these expiration dates that are on products, some of them are kind of useless. I mean, as long as you'll know whenever it's good and when it's not. But whenever you find something that's several months out of date, then yeah, I would suggest get, for one, of course, what your family uses. Don't buy a bunch of stuff that your family won't use or eat, because you'll end up giving it away. I had gotten a ton of toaster strudels at one time. And they were great at first, but then, nobody really cared for them. I don't know what it was, but nobody cared for them, so I ended up giving a lot of them away. And then there were certain things, it's good to try to get quite a few, to try them and then go back and get more. Cause I've ran across that quite a few times. We load up on all this stuff and then not be able to use it or not like it. So no, buy small before you buy large if you haven't tried it before. And watch your expiration dates. If it is something that expires in less than 6 months and it's not something you eat on a day-to-day basis, do not buy hundreds of them. Now, if it's a money maker, by all means get it, because you can always give it out. It's a money maker. Don't leave it on the shelf. But I lost my train of thought again. I have so many million things to do today. um, uh, Man, if you guys only knew, I had 7 different things I had to do within like 2 hours yesterday. And if you run errands, you know that 7 different things does not take 10 minutes. It takes, 15, 20 minutes per thing. And I have 6 things I have to do within like an hour. So I'm going to be running behind, but that's okay. Anyways, freezer foods are something that you can not really go wrong with, because once they're frozen, the expiration dates on them kind of freeze. So, but you also don't want be holding up space for foods of stuff that you're not going to use. So, be careful what you buy. Now, as far as your HBA products, stuff does not expire. And somebody had mentioned to me a couple days ago that if it's in your stockpile or your basement or wherever it is, the prices aren't going to go up on it. Meaning if you paid 50 cents for it with a coupon, it's going to stay already paid for. You're not going to have to go back in a few months. You're not going to have to go back for a little while and, be shocked that the prices went up on it. So don't be afraid to stock up on that. If you have the room, then by all means get it. I know one time, there's quite a few months that, my husband was in between jobs, and basically I stepped up to, take care of our money situation. And the bad thing about that part was I was a couponer. So naturally, couponing kind of got put on hold. I was working 2 jobs and going to school, so that was about the only thing I had time for. And with that, that time frame, that stockpile I had helped us tremendously. Even with the foods that I had stocked up on, we didn't have to worry about buying laundry soap, didn't have to worry about buying toilet paper. That right there, just those items add up quickly when you're buying them at full cost. So don't be afraid to stock up on those if they're free or super cheap or, money makers. Don't be afraid to do that. Whenever I first situated my stockpile, I assumed that I had quite a bit of, all my shampoos and stuff. But whenever I was able to go back in there and really situate, I was like, oh man, I don't have nearly as much as I thought I did. So, that'll be something that'll be nice to add a little bit more to my stockpile, because, I barter with it. Like while I was out of town, my mom helped watch the dogs. I don't know if she got anything or not, but, things like that, I will be glad to hook somebody up if they, we just swap out favors, and stockpiling is my easiest favor to swap out. So just be careful. I wouldn't stock up. Like, one of the things that I had stocked up on, I'll go ahead and tell you, was a lot of ranch dressing. Now, my family eats a lot of ranch dressing. We eat it on a lot of things. But I got excited because it's something we eat, but in the end, we didn't eat it fast enough for the expiration date. Before the expiration date. So I ended up having to get rid of a bunch. And the bad thing is it was sitting in there for like 2 months before I even noticed it was expired. So, just be careful what you stock up on food-wise. Make sure you're going to eat it, because you do not want to be throwing food away, for one. And you don't want to have to get rid of a bunch of it because it expires in a few days or something. Like, I know at one time, I ended up with like 40 boxes of granola bars. That seems excessive, but my family ate them. I knew they were going to eat them, and they were all eaten before they expired. Not nearly as quick as I assumed, but they were all eaten. I didn't have a problem with one out of those expiring at all. Cereal is usually another thing I don't have to worry about expiring. And all my frozen foods, I try to stock up on frozen foods. For one, I have 2 deep freezers and then the freezer above my refrigerator, so space isn't really a concern for me. The only concern I have is if the power goes out. I'm kind of out of luck there, but, you know, there's always ways to keep food from going bad when something like that happens. So, you know, just whenever you're stockpiling, do it wisely. You do not want to be throwing out a bunch of stuff. I know it gets exciting with like my ranch dressing deal. You know, that was the first time I found it that cheap, and it's something that we used a lot, but apparently not as much as I thought we did. So that was kind of a waste. I think it's like 40 cents a bottle. So to me, that was an amazing deal. Like your HBA stuff does not expire. So like I said, do not hesitate to stock up on that. So just, you know, just be careful with what you stock up on, and make sure that you're able to use it before it expires, or find somebody that can use it. And like I said, if you are trying items for the first time, buy a few of them at first. You can always go back to the store and stock up if you do like them. So that is heartbreaking when you spend even 50 cents on an item and buy 50 of them, you know, only to realize that that's something you guys didn't like, and you know, now it's holding space on your shelf, or you're having to get rid of it. So just kind of, you know, stockpile a little wisely. And I'm noticing I'm rambling on. So, you know, if you guys have any questions, message me, comment on this post, or, you know, don't be afraid to ask any of your, you know, coupon buddies that might be able to give you some tips that better suit your needs. You know, because everybody's needs whenever it comes to couponing is very different. Very, very, very different. Every household is very different. So, you know, keep that in mind. What works for some doesn't always work for others. And just be careful what you're stocking up on food-wise, because, you know, you'll end up with a bunch of stuff that might go to waste. So, you know, but like with the 40 boxes of granola bars, I was told that was a little much, but we ate it. I mean, you know what your family eats, you know what they don't. So we ate it, and none of them expired. You know, macaroni and cheese. Oh my gosh, do we go through macaroni and cheese? You know, stock up 70 boxes. Every single one of them were eaten before they expired. So just be cautious of what you stockpile on. And, you know, anything in your health and beauty aids, you should be good to go. I don't know anything that I have out there that expires. So to me, that's great. And like with me right now, I'm going to be busy doing a lot of different things. So couponing is kind of going to be on the back burner for me for a little while. So, you know, and it's good whenever you take breaks like that, so that we don't get completely burnt out. You can live off your stockpile, and that tends to help many people out with, you know, what you're... Oh my goodness, I'm getting looked at like I'm crazy by the lady. For talking to myself, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, so hopefully this helps. You know, don't be afraid to ask questions and things like that. And then, you know, after I post this, I'd greatly appreciate if somebody posted some of their own personal tips. That would be great. Because, you know, everybody learns different strategies to do different things. This is just my personal experience and, you know, ideas of things like that. So hopefully this helps, guys.